day, everyone. So, another week, another insightful message. So, every week, we come and we share time together over a wide variety of topics about life, about aging, about who knows what. Even I don't know what. So, today is a deep one. We're going to dive deep into the philosophical clouds of life. Life. So, when you think about it, life is nothing more than a book. We are all the authors of a book. There's a beginning and an end. Introduction, conclusion. It's pretty simple. So, what kind of book are you? How did you start? How will you end? You've always seen those, like the tombstones, where it says, born in 1940 and died in 2000, and there's that little dash, and the saying is, the dash is what defines you. So the book is really about the content. So I want to share a little bit today about our life's book. I hear often that, there's, different seasons of life. Well, that's nice. But there are really only 4 seasons: spring, winter, fall, spring. Yeah, okay. There's 4. But a book is always changing, always evolving, and it has opportunities for sequels. Just like all the Indiana Jones movies or all the Rambo movies. I mean, there's 100 sequels. And so part of our story about what our book is about is really what I want to focus on today. Is what is your story? Are you writing your story, or are other people writing the story for you? It's kind of deep. So let's jump into that. So what is your story? Who are you? What's your book about? Sometimes what happens is people like me pick up a book and read the cover or the back of the book. Oh yeah, I know what this book is about. But do we? Or we read the Cliff Notes and we get the condensed version. Oh yeah, I met that guy, and yeah, I know his whole life. Do we? So when we talk about seasons, how about we talk about chapters? Because we go through different chapters in life, which is still part of the book. We know every spring seeds are going to pop up, new life. We know every fall everything's going to fall down. We know that during the winter everything's dormant. We know that during the summer it's hot. It's kind of the same loop, little variation, but a book. Oh, the book is full of unknowns. That book. I forget the name of it. The one that was written thousands and thousands of years ago. The big seller, bestseller. Well, those are all chapters of different stories that's in a book that is about the beginning and the end, the alpha, the omega, the beginning, the end. So let's look at our story. Let's look at the chapters. So when we're taking a look at chapters in our life, maybe the first chapter is up to age 12. And then the next chapter was the teenage years, and then the college years, and then the married years, and then the divorce years. No, just kidding. Or the work years. And there's always different chapters that are full of exciting and adventure and sadness and happiness and joy. So looking at the big picture, sometimes we're so focused on little things that we are all authors of our own story. And sometimes I think some of us lose sight of, well, there is an ultimate author. We are the authors of our story. We can write the story however we want. Maybe the last chapter was surrounding sadness and death. But we can write the next chapter of reemergence, the phoenix rising, the comeback kid. every chapter is not written yet. We don't know what the next chapter is. So maybe just accepting that we're in a different season. Don't accept that. Be the author. Take charge of your story. Don't let somebody else write your story. Somebody did you wrong. Somebody hurt your feelings. Somebody did something to you. They got the control. No, you got the control. You're the author. You're writing this awesome book. And every chapter is a story. I love storytelling. There's probably nothing that I couldn't tell a story about because life has just been so vibrant and colorful, and there's lots of things, and you like to share, so that sometimes people, particularly in the aging field, sometimes they feel very all alone and that nobody can relate to their story. And particularly like a couple weeks ago when we had the caregivers here, it's nice when two people can share a story that has some commonality, and you can relate. Come on, you pick up a book and you read and you say, yeah, I can relate. Or maybe you could fantasize or think about, yeah, I want to write my next chapter on that story, or whatever the case may be. But unfortunately, a lot of times we don't have the creativity to believe that we are the authors of our story and that things aren't predestined or they have to be this way. They can be however you want. Write it into your life. I'm going to do this, and write a story. In fact, for years, I've had a book that I've been writing. In fact, there's kind of two different books, and they're kind of halfway in, halfway out, and I just never taken the time. But as I travel through life, my story might be encouraging or hopeful for other people, and that's the point of storytelling, is to be able to pass on knowledge, wisdom, experiences for the next generation and the generation thereof. And we have lost that ability in society of being generational in storytelling. Again, if you go back to that famous book from thousands of years ago, they didn't have writing, they didn't have printers, they didn't have computers. So the only way that the next generation could have any clue of what happened before was by storytelling. So, are you a storyteller? I bet you there's a lot of people out there who have some awesome stories to tell, but there's nobody listening. So we need to listen to stories, and so help people in their book writing or their book thought. The book can be up here, it doesn't have to be in writing, of sharing the stories of your life. Because every life matters, and every life is important, and every life is exciting, and I love hearing about your story. And it's interesting for me to see different chapters in people's lives. So, for some, you know that even here at the Council on Aging, we have chapters. People come, people go. That's life. But life goes on. It's not to say that people don't make a difference or don't matter, but life goes on. Life goes on. It's towards another chapter. So here at the Council on Aging, Lori, Marcia, she's moving on. She's starting to write another chapter in her life. And the COA will write another chapter. Lori just won't be in this chapter. Oh, come on, some of the greatest shows, the characters are killed off and the show goes on. We're going to go on. We'll have a little sadness. But we're going to take that sadness from this chapter and turn it into happiness for the next chapter, because her next chapter will be joy-filled too. So this week, this long weekend, we've got a long weekend this weekend, think about your book. How's your book coming along? What chapters are you in? Are you getting close to the end? Is there going to be a shocker? Will Mary marry Bobby? Whose child is Jennifer's? Oh. Whatever your story is, it's your story. You write it the way you want to write it. I can't wait to read your book. And you can read my book whenever it comes out. Oh, it'll be a thriller. It'll be deep. It'll be nonsensical. It'll be all over the place, just like I am. So this long weekend, sit back, relax, read a book. Read an adventure that somebody else is on, that maybe you'll be on next. So enjoy your weekend, and let's remember what we have this weekend for. It is Memorial Day. Let's remember all those who sacrificed unbelievably for you and I to have this day. So let's remember them and have a wonderful, awesome weekend. This has just been Rich, saying peace.